I kind of predicted the financial crisis did well from it and the European sovereign crisis. And it was the European sovereign crisis that taught me about collateral crisis and that nobody knows who owned what collateral.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. In this video, Raoul Pal welcomes Mike Cagney, CEO of Figure Markets, to discuss blockchain revolutionizing capital markets, lending and securitization by eliminating intermediaries and enabling transparent transactions. Let's catch him up to know more.
If people want to exchange it for cash or whatever their needs are, the fungibility within the real world has always been another issue, right? Because of regulation and banking. And
right. So it's a security off-ramp, on and off-ramp, just as if you were investing in a mutual fund directly from the fund issuer. So we have a set of financial entities that provide fiat rails during market hours. And then what we're working on with a couple of our partners are stablecoin rails non-hours. So, on a non-U.S. banking hour, you'd be able to turn yields into USDC to the extent that you wanted to do that. During U.S. banking hours, you can turn it into U.S. dollars and ultimately into euros and other currency as well.
So you've also built an exchange.
Yeah.
Talk about the exchange and why you did that. So I'm trying to get together, there's a vision here of something much larger, and you're building component parts, which I can see. So I'm trying to get to, okay, what are these parts and where the hell are you going?
Yeah, so let me talk about that, and then I'll go back to the exchange and how it fits in. What we're ultimately trying to do is build what we would call the exchange of everything, right? The ability to have equity, fixed income, crypto, all under one venue and all seamlessly cross-collateralized. So if you went to a big sovereign like a Temasek, for example, they would tell you that if they could more efficiently cross-collateralize their assets, they would have twice as much capital to deploy. And so the first step of this is let's get everything under one roof where we have true perfection to the assets. We're not tokenizing a DTC security, for example. The security lives on chain, so we know we have the perfection to it and the ability to liquidate it. Let's get a true blockchain native ecosystem of assets, securities, crypto, et cetera, and provide that ability to cross-collateralize. That opens the second problem, which is if you went to a Temasek or a GIC or a big sovereign like that, they'd say, well, if I could deploy a lot more capital, I can't get it because I'm named full on the prime broker or they're named full on me, right? Effectively, that ecosystem's been topped out. And that's where that whole democratized construct of it doesn't matter who the borrower is, it's people with money lending against assets that want money and disintermediating the construct of a borrower and single name credit risk, et cetera. That's when we really create a massively efficient capital ecosystem. And that's what we're trying to build out. And so if you rewind it, our efforts that we've done on lending and that ecosystem that we're building out, again, there's first order benefits of why we did that. We save a lot of money using the blockchain. It's allowed Figure to be a very profitable business, et cetera. But the real goal is that was just the first of a series of assets we're bringing on chain that allow for that cross collateralization. And we're doing the same thing now with crypto. We're doing the same thing with a couple of different efforts on public equity, including, why we're involved in this Ionic situation, which was the miner that came out of Celsius, and what our focus has been on running that shareholder activist campaign there, because we want to get that stock listed on chain and start showing this ability to seamlessly cross-collateralize across asset types. And so, within the exchange itself, it really forced us to think about how exchanges work. And the thing that I always kind of scratch my head on, it's ironic that Binance and Coinbase are as large as they are trading blockchain assets, but not in a blockchain, right? It's a true centralized exchange construct, right? You deliver your assets to them, they hold the assets.
Ethereum's price has surged today as whale accumulation and easing concerns over a potential chain rollback boost market confidence. The native token experienced a 5.8% jump within the past 24 hours, reaching over $2,830. Following the recent Bybit hack, the exchange replenished nearly 50% of its Ethereum reserves through significant over-the-counter purchases and emergency transfers from major platforms, which restored trust among investors and prevented further declines. Simultaneously, Ethereum core developer Tim Bako firmly dismissed calls for reverting the network to its pre-hack state. He stressed that a rollback would trigger massive disruptions across decentralized finance and cross-chain bridges, thus reinforcing the decision to move forward without reverting transactions. With such fears subsiding, market sentiment has improved notably. Large holders have capitalized on the situation, accumulating roughly $140 million worth of Ethereum since the incident, thereby reducing circulating supply and applying upward pressure on prices. Technical analysis supports Ethereum's recovery as well. The digital asset is bouncing off a multi-month ascending trendline, a pattern historically associated with short-term rebounds. With key resistance levels now in sight and the relative strength index rising steadily, investors remain optimistic. These combined factors, the swift replenishment of reserves, the dismissal of rollback rumors, and aggressive whale accumulation, have set the stage for Ethereum to possibly continue its upward trajectory, positioning it for a potential breakout toward higher price targets in the near future. Analysts believe that today's positive developments reflect a broader trend of renewed confidence in Ethereum's infrastructure, paving the way for further market growth.
JP Coin doing what?
Basically just being another stable. But I don't think that could happen ahead of the legislation, the stablecoin legislation. They're trying to get that legislation done ahead of the August recess. So it would be, fourth quarter or something like that would happen. But, it'll be interesting to see where the TradFi leans into Ethereum or not.
I don't know where else they go, to be honest. If you're JP Morgan, right, you're unlikely to go to Solana, or it's because they're more closed ecosystems, right? The monolithic chains versus, the others. It just feels that it's almost impossible to make that decision. They're not going to go to somebody brand new either.
Right.
Not JP Morgan. So it's kind of like it's ETH shit or bust. That's what when I get to when I think this thing through, I'm like, I don't see any other solution that's possible at this stage.
Yeah, well, and that's what the next 12 months will show us, is how these platforms evolve. I think, the challenge Solana has is, the situation that we have with Libra and the meme coin thing, that those are things that don't induce TradFi to come and play in your ecosystem. And they're not bad things. I mean, they generate huge amounts of fees for the network, and I don't begrudge them that at all. But that's not, that's not going to get JP Morgan or Goldman excited to start trading on your platform. So,
although if they can spin the story differently, I mean, look, it's been an ugly shit show, and it's been a bit too grifty. But crypto's been grifty for a long time, right? But
right.
At the extreme, because it's a Wild West and it is experimentation. So I get that, and I don't really have a massive issue with it. But the Trump coin to me was really interesting because it shows how fast capital formation can happen amongst a large group of a decentralized entity amongst a large group of people who have a commonality of idea. We saw the Constitution DAO before that was another way. It was another holy shit moment for capital formation. So there was a very big signal. I mean, memes and stuff have a lot of signal about a bunch of stuff, attention, economy and stuff. But for capital formation, I think it was a big moment.
Crucial Bitcoin indicators signal a strong bullish crossover as technical momentum continues to build. The 20-week SMA has surpassed the 50-week SMA, a pattern often preceding prolonged upward trends. Historically, Bitcoin's price has flourished when it remains above these key moving averages, and the current setup mirrors pre-rally conditions seen in previous bull markets. Moreover, Bitcoin is trading above the 100-week SMA, reinforcing confidence in its long-term fundamentals. Traders remain optimistic as the gap between price levels and the 200-week SMA widens, highlighting the asset's resilience during challenging periods. This bullish crossover suggests that Bitcoin's short and medium-term momentum remains positive, setting the stage for further gains. Should the price continue to hold these support levels, a breakout towards six-figure territory, possibly surpassing the psychological $100,000 mark, appears increasingly likely, reflecting strong market sentiment and a potential protracted bull run in the near future. With confidence. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Zella. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.